So I like McLaren. GT7? We liked it a little less. If you'd like, you can check out the link in the comments for our full review, but be warned, we gave it a 7 out of 10, and it has a few flaws, that's for sure. But one of its best features is its livery editor, which allows you to create all sorts of wild creations from your racing imagination. However, if you're like me and you have absolutely no originality whatsoever, you can spend hours trying to create the look of your favorite drivers and teams. Don't worry, if that's you, we've got you covered. Here's how you can recreate the McLaren F1 2022 race suit in Gran Turismo 7 livery editor. For colour one, we're going to need to choose a very dark grey as our baseline. Though the new suits look black, it's actually a few shades lighter, and you'll want to choose a shade that's maybe a couple of notches up from pitch black. For our second and third colour, yeah, no points for getting this one right, we're going to want that iconic papaya orange. You're going to want to make sure that they're both set to exactly the same colour for it to look right. Start off by blocking off an orange section at the top of the chest. Next, select a large square shape from the editor and enlarge it so that it covers the entire chest around the armpit line, like you can see here. Then we're going to want to set it to the same papaya orange colour that you chose for the primary colours of 2 and 3. Now for the techie part, we need to get our sponsors in order. Gran Turismo 7 comes with plenty of real-life sponsor logos, but unfortunately, a lot of them are missing. So to replace those, we'll be looking for similar icons situated in the fantasy section. Don't worry though, the iconic Gulf and Sparco sponsorships are here for us to enjoy, and you'll be able to arrange them out like you can see on screen now. Step 3 is a little bit fiddly, so make sure you're paying attention here. We're going to need to recreate the McLaren logo. It's not included as a standalone logo, so you're going to have to spell it out using the font icons. But luckily for us, the font looks fairly similar to the actual logo from a distance. There's even a similar swoosh shape to place above the final letter if you look in the Shapes menu. We're going to want to make sure that these letters are all the same shade as primary colour number 1, so that's your little dark grey colour. Now let's move down the chest slightly. We need to create a couple of patches on the pec line. If you use the square shape, you'll be able to resize it into a rectangle on the left or right side. You can then use the duplicate function to recreate the shape exactly on the other side. Now place the fantasy sponsors Auto H and Maxwell on the top of their patches. Let's move a little further down. If you use the square shape option again, you can scale it into a very thin horizontal line. Arrange 2 of these above each other to border a sponsor logo. Personally, we found that the David Wilson Cars logo looks fairly close to the real deal. Unicorn Media does a great job of substituting the logo at the top of the stomach as well. Next, you'll need to place the Sparco logo on the other side of the suit, just above each hip. You can then choose which of the 2 McLaren drivers the suit will belong to. So, if you're a Nando fan, spell out LN4 in the center right on top of the zip. If you're a Daniel Ricciardo fan, you'll want DR3, but whatever you choose, make sure the text is white. Now we're moving on to the arms and the legs, and I'm not going to lie to you, there's barely any of the official race sponsors here, so we're going to need to get a little bit creative. As you can see on screen, we've opted for a mix of real sponsors and fantasy ones. The Bilstein, Dunlop, Gran Turismo 7 and Shell logos work pretty well to get that similar vibe to the ones on the official McLaren 2022 race suit. Sure, it's not exact, but we have to make do with what we've got. Work with me here. Finally, the finishing touches add a polyphony digital lengthways down the edge of the forearms. Now let's move on to the legs, which are thankfully pretty simple. You're going to want to create a large square and size it up to cover most of the leg. Next, we can colour it in a delightful pale blue, and the race suit will hopefully start to look like it's coming together a little bit. Can you see it? Okay, let's finish this livery off. We're going to need to pick a driver number. Now, of course, you can pick your own number if that's your vibe, but if you've chosen to recreate Lando Norris, you're going to need, obviously, the number 4. And for Daniel Ricciardo, choose 3. And there you have it. You should now have a race suit livery that looks fairly close to the one used by Team McLaren in the 2022 F1 season. The next step would be to create a helmet design that fits your favorite driver, but that's a tutorial for another time. Let us know if you want to see more tips and tricks like this, and I'll catch you on the racetrack. I've been Sarah from GameBite, and you've been wonderful. Thanks for watching.